Welcome back, Officers of the Public. Is your Coruscant Underworld Police Chief AP Gaines here, and today I'm going to tell you guys the top 5 things that you should never do in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Now, before we get into the video, we are trying to reach 2,000 subscribers by the beginning of January, so if that's something you feel like helping out with, or maybe you just want to hop over on the Discord and join us for all of the fun, that would be fantastic. Thank you guys so much for all the support, and let's jump into the video. Alright, so the first thing that you should never do, especially for you early game players, is level up characters that you are not using. Whether that be you don't have enough stars, like for 3PO and Chewie, I don't have enough stars for me to really take him into GAC and for him to be viable. Don't waste gear, don't waste credits on leveling them up, unless you're like me and you have 210 million credits because you're allergic to modding. Don't level up characters that you don't need. This is only going to inflate your galactic power, making it more challenging for you to succeed in GAC. Also, at the beginning of the game, you're at a real credit crunch. I have people message me all the time, especially the patrons when they message me like, hey man, I really need help with my account. What am I doing with all these credits? Where are they going? Why do I never seem to have enough credits to level people up, to gear people up, all that good stuff, to slice mods? That's because you could be wasting them on characters that don't need them right now. Like, yes, Enfys Nest and Moff Gideon and Mon Mothma are going to be good characters. Does that mean I'm going to use them now and I should waste those resources before I really need them? No, it doesn't. So don't waste those resources, especially if you're early in the game. Next on the list is giving 5s the Omega on cover fire. This is a huge one that I see people make the mistake of all the time. Luckily, it's gotten caught recently, so the last couple months to maybe the last year, people have been doing it less and less. But so many older players who can never get this back, because you can never take off an ability, so many older players are unfortunately stuck with this, and then they're getting phased out and beaten by newer players who are coming up, because adding the taunts, so at the end of his turn, if no allies are taunting, 5s gains taunt for 2 turns. You don't want 5s to taunt ever, because 5s is the hardest to kill, and you want them to go after your Rex, who could be soft, your Echo, your ARC Trooper, your whatever, right? Because you want 5s to sacrifice. If you're doing an event of some kind and you're going against a more powerful team, you want that sacrifice. So if you're going a gas mirror match, for example, if you just got gas, lots of arena climbs, they have a certain section where it's just gas mirror matches until you get Galactic Legends. Those matchups are so close, sometimes it comes down to who mods for offense, who mods for protection. But really, if you don't have this and the AI can attack your Rex or something, kill your Rex, and you have the Zeta on 5s, all of those buffs are going out, you're suddenly supercharged, much more powerful, and you can take down that opposing mirror match team so much easier with all of those extra buffs. But that can only happen if they can go after other characters, and that can't happen, of course, if 5s is taunting. Alright, number 3 on our list is work on too many teams at the same time. Now, as you can see, for the account that I'm using to demonstrate this video, it's like 2.5 million GP. I obviously have my heavy hitter Solos, Cup, and Darth Vader up here. And then I've got a couple of teams where I just leave them where they are. They're not super geared out. And I've chosen a specific number of teams, namely, I've already finished Darth Vader, but I'm eventually going to go for this Dark Side Sith Empire team. I'm probably going to leave these guys here for now because I don't really need them any higher yet. Maybe I'll throw a relic on Scion eventually to make that 2-man instead of 3-man. I can get away with these low relics, low gears in a mirror match, or in some situations against General Grievous, for example. I can get pretty much perfect banners against mid-level relics with this low relic team. What I'm saying is I'm using my teams at the minimum possible gear so that I can fight a specific amount of teams and not have to have like so many other teams like down here. These are the teams I throw on defense because they're just whatever. I need these guys for C-3PO. These guys I just happen to have to get Thrawn. Separatists I've just accumulated naturally, and my Geonosians are pretty bad. But you don't see me grinding out gear for all of these guys, putting in a bunch of resources. Because right now I'm farming up for like Beskar Mando, for example. I'm farming up. I got Mando 7 stars. I got to get Grief to 7 stars, and I got to get Kara. So my resources can only be allocated in so many places that you want to allocate them for your high-powered offensive teams, maybe one special defensive team, and then all of the other stuff you don't need to work on all at once because this is a timing-based game, and if you can effectively time all of your farms, all of your gearing, more precisely than your opponent, you're always going to be at a huge disadvantage. So number 3 is don't gear up too many teams at the same time. Now number 4 on the list is don't underestimate how terrible farming Galactic Legends is in the early game. What I mean by that, and why I specifically mean early game, is farming up Galactic Legends usually has you not follow a standard path to give you an effective GAC strategy. To plan out all your stuff, you have to go for characters that maybe you don't necessarily need, some of which are good, like EP, Anakin, Vader. These are good characters, but Sidious, Maul, Guard, these characters are not necessarily that good, especially in the early game. Now, why do I only say early game? Because in the early game, all of these relics on characters that don't really work well with the team that you already have. Sure, they could work well with Sith Eternal Emperor. Like, you could throw some Royal Guard action in there, and sure, it could be viable. But you're going to be inflating your GP when you don't have those other teams to take the brunt of your opponent's damage. So let's say this inflates your GP a couple 100,000, a couple million, for depending on the Galactic Legend, right? There's more requirements for some rather than others. If you're already in the late game and you're in Division 1, I mean, it's not going to really affect anything because everyone's going to have the same number of relics, right? So you can set a strong defense, a strong offense, and then you need to rush a Galactic Legend to be viable. But if you're in Division 11, or Division 10, Division 9, you're going to be going against people with their Jedi Knight Revan teams, their Bounty Hunters, their CLSs, their Mon Mothmas, their Geos, all of that good stuff. And sure, you'll be closer to a Galactic Legend, and eventually you'll get one. But for all of those months where you're solely focusing on a Galactic Legend, you're going to be behind, and you're going to be getting destroyed by all of these people who can maybe just place up more defenses than you have offensive firepower, and then they full clear you. You can't full clear them. And even though you'll have a Galactic Legend first, what are you going to have to show for it? You'll have a bunch of Grand Arena defeats to show for it. So that's why I say wait. Don't grind Galactic Legends until you have a solid enough team to deal with the negative effect of having an inflated galactic power. Now, 5th and probably most important is get into a good guild as soon as possible. Don't wait in a starter guild or in a guild with your friends because it's fun. I did that for, at this point, almost 8 months, and I just now unlocked Wat Tambor at pretty much 2.6 million GP. I mean, you guys all know Nikki Biggs. She's been playing for less than a month, and she already almost has Wat Tambor. So you need to not succumb to the draw of a guild that could be fun, could make the game more enjoyable, but if you want to be incredibly effective, you need to get into that guild that's doing the new Rancor raid, that's doing full stars in Darkside Geonosis TBs, and is doing pretty well in Lightside TBs, getting you cam shards, getting you watt shards, getting you all of that guild event token Mark IIs so that you can get your negotiator, because that'll help you get first place in ship arena or fleet arena, getting you an extra 400 crystals a day. Being in a good guild has so many effects on the whole game and how you progress through the game that it's something that you just have to do. If you want to get into a good guild, you can always hop into my Discord server. Like I said, we always recruit people in various guilds. There's lots of alliances recruiting in there. So if you maybe need to get into a better guild and you don't know where to start, try hopping in there. All right, guys, that's it for today. Again, we're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of January. Only a couple more weeks left. It would be a fantastic birthday surprise for me to reach 2,000 subscribers before my birthday, which is on the 18th of January, not necessarily the 30th at the end of January. But if that's something you guys are interested in, share this video. It really helps. I'll see you guys later.